What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Awakening World. I'm Love Coach Scott Thomas, and we've all heard about the three wise men during the Nativity, right? Well, tonight we're going to meet three wise women, and I mean that sincerely. I think most of us agree that it is time for the divine feminine to really rise and be heard, especially given the current shift that took place this week in terms of what's happening in Washington, D.C. and around the country. More and more and more, the voices of the wise women need to be heard. And we have with us three very, very wise women. I'm going to do big introductions a little bit later, but just so you know, we have with us Anistara, one of our favorites. Of course, she's been on the show before. And we've also invited back Lisa Barnett. And we have a new friend, Astra Fox. So these are our three wise women. I feel humbled to be in your presence. Definitely look forward to the wisdom that you have to share. And of course, as always, we love to start our show rocking and rolling with my beloved brother, the co-host of the show, Omashar. Take it away, brother.
We are here, gathered together, holding hands, sisters and brothers, open hearts and open minds, raising our voices and singing these praises, Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Hey, yana, ho, yana, hey, yana, hey, yana, ho, yana, hey, 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 yana, ho, yana, hey, yana, hey, yana, ho, yana, hey. We are here, loving our mother. We are willing to love each other, open hearts and open minds. We raise our voices, we sing these praises.
Let's all give a good, healthy twinkle to our beloved Omashar. Thank you very much. It gets us up and moving and rocking and rolling.
That one's good for the digestion.
Yeah, and it's good to see all of our beautiful friends that are here in the Zoom room. And we want to welcome all of you who are watching on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you to the Sign Network for getting us out there. And a reminder that you can find all things Omashar at omashar.com. And it's always best to go to Bandcamp. They are the most generous in supporting him. And you can either find it on his website or just go to omashar.bandcamp.com, omashar.bandcamp.com, and pick up those beautiful CDs of his. Thank you, my friend. Well, I want to, we're going to hear from all three of these wise women tonight. And what we're going to do is each one is going to have 10 minutes just to kind of do an introduction of what they want to, the wisdom they want to share. And of course, this is a place where people can really speak from the heart. And so then we're going to have a lot of dialogue and hopefully engage you, our audience. So we're going to start by introducing Anistara. And you know her. She's been on the show many, many times. We love this woman. She is the mother of 1111 Unified and Ascension University. She's an international best-selling author, transformational speaker, and I love this part, an Ascension Integration Mentor.
Yes.
Now that's the world we're living in, right? Think about that again, an Ascension Integration Mentor.
Yeah.
And so we need that now. And welcome back to the Awakening World, Anistara.
Oh, thank you, Scott. It's such a pleasure to be here. Hello, family. Hello, community. Hello, world. Wow, we are really living in an awakening world. So much is changing. I was on a call not long ago with Deborah Giusti and a woman that was channeling one of our dear friends, Celestine Starr, that passed a couple of years ago. And she said, when you look at 2025, you can't look at A plus B equals C because the answer won't be C, the answer will be blue. So we are going through really pivotal times. And myself, as a multidimensional being of light here in service to humanity's awakening and our planetary ascension, it is one of my missions and my purpose is to help those who are on the awakening path, in the ascension process, to integrate their higher self, to really ground their 5D reality vision into this 3D body. And I find that so many people are struggling with certain challenges and ascension symptoms. Now, let me explain what those are. They could be a ringing in the ears. It could be an aura migraine where light passes across your eyes and you can't do anything but sit down and have the gift of presence. You might be seeing and hearing things. You might have your psychic abilities starting to come online. And when that happens and we go out into the default world, we might be judged by others as crazy. How many of you have felt that? Like maybe you're feeling a little isolated because your blood family or certain friends just don't get you anymore. You feel misunderstood and you might feel a little alone because of it. Well, you're here with us today, family, and we are all in this awakening together. And so what do we do to really begin to start to integrate? Well, my technique is called the Ascension Integration Technique. And I take my clients through a beautiful process, starting with receiving love, like really creating the foundation of self-love and compassion and trusting yourself. And then we move into how do we resource ourselves in these pivotal, really accelerated times. It's like so many people use the phrase, I just don't have time, or I don't have enough time. And so I walk them through something called the timelessness technique, where we condense time and space and you have more spaciousness for your creative projects, for your self-care. And then we move into what I like to call discovering your superpowers, taking those ascension symptoms, problems or challenges and transforming them into your new earth superpowers. It's all about a mindset shift. It's all about shifting your perspective on what's happening to you to what is happening for you. Because all of these challenges and struggles are there for you to grow from. They are there, they're your point of, it's a catalyst, that's your point of transformation. And so when you begin seeing the gifts, or I like to say, you're digging for the gold in the shift. And when you begin to really realize that these are the things that you are cultivating to become your superpowers for the new earth and to step into your leadership, whether you're an aspiring mentor, coach, guide, or you just want to lead by example for your family, for your community, somebody who is living a life on purpose, following their heart and their mission, being in integrity and accountability and love and compassion and peace, and just emanating that light out into the world. Because each time you go out into the world and you do this, you're giving other people's permission to shine their light brightly as well. And then we go through so many other processes. One of them I love is called the Discover Your Dharma formula, where you really begin to see, like, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I'm really good at. Like, these are my skill sets. And this is what the world needs, or what I see that the world needs that I can offer. And this is how I can actually bring abundance and reciprocity and prosperity into my life. And we begin to mold and find your dharma, your purpose, your life mission statement, so to speak. And then from there, we begin to create a roadmap of the life of your dreams. We call it the Life of Your Dreams Manifesto. Because the more that you work on this and the more that you envision this and the more that you tell your subconscious, it's safe for me to manifest and create these things in my life, the closer it comes to you. The more that you vibrate at a higher frequency and you're fully embodied as your higher self in your 3D body, then you begin to magnetize those people, places, things into your life in a much swifter way. And so how many of us want to learn about discovering our superpowers? Would you like to know your newer superpowers? Do you want to feel on purpose? Do you want to live a life on mission? Because all of us have come here with the soul contract. All of us said, yes, I want to be here during one of the most pivotal moments in humanity's history. The evolution of our planet waking up. We are reaching the tipping point. The 100th monkey effect is coming soon, where the truth is coming out, disclosure is happening, and all of us are waking up to the truth of all that is, which is we are all interconnected. We are all one. And as we begin to live a life from that embodiment of the deep knowing that truth, then we know that everything we say, everything we think, everything we do ripples out into the world. It really does. Thank you, Scotty. Yes, yowza, right, Heather? Susan? Amanda? Loving it. So, friends, what I wanted to really share with you today is, where are you being led to? A lot of us are being led to ley lines, sacred sites, chakra points on the planet. We're feeling called home, so to speak. I visited Egypt over 3 years ago, and when I got there, I literally felt like I was at home. I returned back to one of my originating lifetimes, and I received all kinds of soul codes and messages. I began to tap into my Akashic records and really have lightning fast channel downloads. How many of you wake up in the middle of the night to channeling downloads? You like can't pick up your journal and your pen fast enough. So when we're invited to these sacred sites, we are meant to have them activate us and also have us activate them to their original intention. And beloveds, I'm so excited because later this year, our 1111 Unified Network is going on an Egypt pilgrimage. We're going to be at the Temple of Isis on 1111. The entire trip is 20 days long. I wanted spaciousness to go to the sacred sites, have time to integrate afterwards. And this pilgrimage is a pilgrimage of the heart. It's a pilgrimage of the soul. And if you've ever felt like you've had a past life in Egypt, if you resonate with ancient Egyptian wisdom, then I am inviting you, Star Family, our global peace tribe, our awakening world tribe, to come and join us for that trip. It's October 26th to November 14th. And you can find out more about it on 1111unified.com/Egypt. Also, beloveds, I have a beautiful free masterclass next week. It's called The Synchronicity of Success. And we're going to go over the 4 keys of how to unlock universal flow so that you can lead with confidence. So you can really step into that next chapter of your life where you feel fulfilled because you really are living on purpose. And so you can find out more about that on my link tree. Scott just put it in the chat. For those of you who are watching on Facebook and YouTube, you just go to Linktree, linktr.ee, and /Anistara 1111. Thank you, Scott. ANISTARA 1111. And there you'll find the free masterclass. You'll also find our upcoming Awakened Leadership Initiation. This is our level 1 group coaching course at the 1111 Ascension University. And it's for those of you who are on the verge of the next chapter of your life. And you really want to have that clarity of purpose. You really want to become empowered and confident and believe in yourself. And you really are ready to step into your leadership role and begin defining what that is. Because you're here for a reason. And now's your opportunity to live the life that you're meant to live. So Scott's showing the website. You could see some of the client success stories, etc. So, beloveds, this year is going to be so powerful. Can we feel it, right? 2025. Are you ready to thrive in 2025? And for those of you who are feeling the call or you want to lean into this program or the Egypt initiation, you can contact me at anastar1111@gmail.com. And I'm going to put in the link to an opportunity to book a free sacred activation session with me. This is where we'll have a heart-to-heart. I'll find out what are those problems and challenges you're faced with. What are your goals that you want to accomplish? And I'll help you create an action plan to set you in motion to success. So I'm really looking forward to having some one-on-ones with some of you.
And we're going to have lots. I've already made about 5 questions for you.
Okay, great.
So
I love it.
Your energy is so beautiful, and it's
Aww.
and
Thank you,
I see a lot going on in the chat box right off the bat. So thank
Amazing.
you, Anistara, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, wonderful.
All right. Well, she brought the frankincense, and here's the one bringing the myrrh, perhaps. And this is Lisa Barnett. And Lisa helps us to understand all about the Akashic records. And of course, we'll take a look at her website, Akashic. She's the founder of the Akashic Knowing School of Wisdom. She's taught thousands of students worldwide how to access their own personal soul guidance from their Akashic records. She's written 4 books. Her latest book is Akasha. She's been doing this for over 30 years. And she also does Akashic record channeling and quantum healing. So, Lisa, we've known each other a long time. We've both been at it for quite a bit. And it's wonderful to have you back on the Awakening World. And, please share with our audience, how do they access the Akashic records? What's that really mean?
Hey, absolutely. Thank you, Scott. It's always a joy to join you and everyone here. I'm thrilled to be back. So it really is a wow time in the world. And I always kind of laugh. I feel like I've been waiting for this time to come around for seriously like over 60 years. I'm like twiddling my thumbs and talking to spirits on the other side, the Akashic record keepers, waiting for this moment. And it really feels like we are at that the precipice of change, and we have the ability to change our lives, to create a new earth. And I really believe that with the help and the support of the Akashic records, it will be so much easier than we may have imagined. So the Akashic records are part of source energy, which is, of course, part of the quantum field. And so the thing that I've really come to dive into over the years and teach my students is that nothing is written in stone. Even the pain or the trauma from a childhood or from a past life, we can actually learn to go into the Akashic field, into this quantum field where there is no time and space, and rewrite our, well, parts of our libraries. So, we don't want to erase everything. There's amazing wisdom. There are gifts and talents that you have been honing for ever, the last 10 or 12,000 years, and then in all those other lifetimes here on this beautiful planet in other planes and dimensions. The record keepers always say that everyone is a starseed many times over. Really, none of us come just to Earth, which I always think is such a good thing to know. It's kind of a relief to me, right? Because this has not always been the easiest planet to live on. So for me, the Akashic record keepers kind of tapped me on the shoulder about 30 years ago, and they said, it is time to re-anchor the Akashic energy on Earth. They told me that they had pulled the vibration of the Akasha away from the planet during the Dark Ages because we literally misused the information we could get in the Akashic records, for our own good, not for the good of all, but just for our mostly personal good and desires. And so the record keepers realized this wasn't the time during the Dark Ages to have people accessing this information. They pulled the energy away. And then in the kind of late probably 60s and 70s, they started tapping people on the shoulder and saying, hey, it's time, right? We're right here at this phenomenal stepping into the age of Aquarius, which is why I say, I've been waiting for this now for most of my life. But they said, really, once we can re-anchor the energy and it becomes more accessible, then they asked me to start a school and to teach people how to access their own Akashic records, because they said it's a phenomenal empowerment tool for everyone. So they gave me what I refer to as the 5-step wisdom prayer system. And I will actually be teaching a 1-day workshop right here in Marin County, where I am. I think Scott's here, or very close, at the big live Expand event. So I am doing a full day teaching to teach you how to access your own Akashic records using this 5-step wisdom prayer system. And so there are beautiful access keys to move you into the Akashic field. There are healing prayers to help us to clear and release what no longer serves, as well as many, many different types of tools that the Akashic record keepers have given us. And to me, one of the profound pieces of accessing the Akash right now is that as we can move into this quantum void, into this energy of no time and space, into this place, which is pure, infinite possibilities. It is, right, no thing and everything. And so my desire is to truly teach you, as I teach you to access your records, the memory of who you've been through millions of lifetimes in this multi-dimensional world, how to access and reclaim gifts, how to release old patterns and challenges that no longer serve us, and then how to truly use this quantum field to shift and build our new earth. Because in this space of source, in this space, we are the creator beings that we really came to be. We are able to access this expansive vibration of the all, to be part of source, the quantum and the Akash, and really start from there in creating our new earth. And so it's a beautiful, phenomenal time in history. I am so excited to hopefully see many of you at this Expand conference. There will be 6 of the spiritual authors who have written books for Common Sentience is a beautiful series of spiritual books. Mine is Akasha. And there will be 5 other authors speaking about their books at the Expand right here at the Embassy Suites in San Rafael on February 1st. And then I will do a full day course on teaching you the 5-step wisdom prayer system, the very simple and powerful way to access this empowerment tool for yourself. So I look forward to the continuing conversation and seeing many of you at Expand and hopefully in my workshop.
We did an entire show recently with, of course, Ariel Patricia. She co-hosted with me, and we had some of the people who are going to be at Expand, and we're excited about it. It's going to be in San Rafael at the same place where those of you who attended last year's show that Kenny does, the New Living Expo. It's there. It's also where the Soul Search events take place in San Rafael. So many of us have been there for Soul Search, for Kenny's show, New Living Expo, and now we're going to hopefully be there February 1st and 2nd, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you, Lisa, for being with us tonight. Likewise, I've already got questions for you, and I hope our audience is beginning to decide which questions they want to ask everybody, because there's a lot, I know, there's a lot of wisdom here for us to gain. So thank you so much for being with us, Lisa.
Thank you.
And of course, she'll be back in a moment. Hey, I just learned that today is the 80th birthday of one of our most beloved Global Peace Tribers. He is right up there with Eleanor Joy and the others, always dancing and moving. He has emblazoned into our brains that Lovolution is the solution. And so before we go to Astra, our third guest, I'm going to put the spotlight on our beloved Reverend Jeffrey Colebrook, who is celebrating his 80th birthday. Wow. Jeffrey.
This is my first full day of my 80th year of going around the sun.
Wow.
And I got to spend my birthday yesterday with a beautiful celebration for Jimmy Carter, President Carter, here in Florida, and honoring that wonderful man and all the wonderful work he's done in the world. So that was a delight to be with them.
Yeah.
Well, Jeffrey, I always like to ask, what is your vision for this next cycle around the sun that we can all hold for you? What do you want to see take place for you?
Oh, for me, just to continue the deep expansion into the community of the Lovolutionary folks that I be. Scott, you bringing these people into my life and continue expanding. I hope we can have a lot more fun here. And I have some ideas of some wonderful people we can bring in and join the global peace tribe here in the awakening world in the future. So I'm looking forward to the expansion of the awakening world, of the global peace tribe, and seeing more and more people come and join this wonderful place to experience our own personal awakening into the greater field. And you know, I love the science of the unified field and what's going on at the International Space Federation. So I'm really hoping to see that expand and bring more and more wisdom into the greater understanding of the nature of reality that we all are.
All right. Well, in a moment, I'm going to ask Omashar if he can do a little birthday tune for you. And everybody, let's send maximum grace to Reverend Jeffrey for this new cycle around the sun. Maximum grace for radiant health, ever-expanding consciousness, abundance, and love in many, many forms. And here's Omashar.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jeffrey. Happy birthday to
All right. Looking forward to sharing the next 80 years with you, my friend.
And longer, actually. Eternity, brother.
All right. Well, that's a fun, spontaneous. Thank you, Omashar, for jumping in there so quickly. Hey, we have a new friend joining us tonight, and you're going to love her. She is a delight. This is Astra Fox, and she is going to bless us with some music. She is our other musical artist this evening. And just a little bit about her. She's a Northern California-based folk and pop vocalist, singer-songwriter, and a spiritual life coach. And she is dedicated to helping creatives, that's all of you, heal, grow, and align with their joyful purpose. Through soulful melodies and uplifting lyrics, her music inspires transformation and possibility, while her coaching empowers clients to break through the blocks holding them back. By blending mindset coaching, subconscious release techniques, and purposeful music, Astra guides others to unlock their unique gifts and confidently share those gifts with the world. Astra, thank you. Thank you for being on the planet. Thank you for being a big part of the awakening world, as well as this awakening world. And I'm going to bring Heather up for a quick second, because Heather is who introduced me to you. So thank you, Heather, for making this connection. Is there anything you want to, let's really embarrass Astra. What do you want to share about her?
Oh gosh, there's like, I don't know, nothing really like embarrassing to share about Astra. She's just always such a delight. The first time I met her was through a messenger. Somebody connected us, that we'd get along. Before we knew it, we were putting together a workshop for life visioning, vision board workshop. And that was the first time we met in person, was at the actual workshop we created. So Astra's just such an inspiration. Her songs are the soundtrack to my best life, is what I always say.
Oh, that's beautiful. The soundtrack to your best life. Well, thank you, Heather, for making the connection. And
My
now
honor.
we get to meet you a little bit. So since it's your first time here on the show and you're a virgin to the awakening world, tell us a little bit about your life's journey.
Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Anistara. Thank you, Heather, for making this introduction. And thank you for all of you for welcoming me into this community. It's just so vibrant and I feel at home here. So thank you so much. It's my honor. Speaking about wisdom, I gained a lot of wisdom, like some of us, from digging for that gold through the shift, as Anistara said. So I really see, of course, our spiritual growth journeys began long ago, but I really see mine beginning at the age of 20. I got married very young, and it was a very toxic relationship. I was very codependent, and my husband was dealing with mental illness. There was drug use involved, and our short marriage ended in him passing away. I was 2 weeks from my 21st birthday, and I felt like I had been in this tornado of this toxic relationship that just stood still the day that he died. And I remember sitting out, I was living in Texas at the time, we lived on this big property. I remember sitting out in this meditation spot and looking out at this lake that was on the property and just feeling like I had this intense, strong knowing that my husband was still with us, that his death was part of the plan, and that I had two choices in front of me. The first choice that I saw was to throw my life away because I had a really good excuse to just be depressed and just go down that path. And I saw this other path in front of me where I could make my life as amazing as possible to have his death not be in vain. And so I chose that latter path, and it wasn't an immediate, healing. It wasn't a miraculous healing, but it was a beacon of hope that I made the decision to not let becoming a widow at the age of 20 define me forever. I was going to overcome it and allow it to be a catalyst for my personal and spiritual development. So what that looked like immediately was really sitting with my grief. I was determined to heal and not stifle what I was feeling, stifling my emotions. And what ended up happening naturally was me picking up my guitar. I've been playing guitar since I was 16, singing since before I can remember, and songwriting about as long. Yet I'd put my passion for music on hold for the codependency of that relationship. So what happened in the wake of his death was I found myself alone, picking up my guitar and pouring my grief into really sad, tragic songs. And what I know now in retrospect is that what that did for me was it truly allowed me to sit with my emotions, process them, and allow them to work through me and transform. And so I continued on my seeking journey for self-help, spiritual community. I was following my intuition, following the breadcrumbs of my intuition. And I got really into Abraham Hicks, manifestation, started really learning how my thoughts are what create the reality around me. And I had this little idea. I thought, wouldn't it be cool to write happy songs that weren't cheesy? See, I had these beliefs that happy songs were cheesy. I only write songs when I'm depressed, and that songs only come through like a bolt of lightning that I can't predict, and I never know when it's going to happen or come through. So I ended up changing those stories. I identified what those stories were and how they were holding me back in my creativity. And I decided I can write songs that are happy and aren't cheesy, and I can write music on demand. And so I started a little practice for myself, a little intentional practice to write music that was positive, uplifting, that was singing about the future I wanted to create for myself versus the past that I was healing from through the sad songs I was singing over and over and over again. If you're an artist, you can understand, like, you spend a lot of time with your creations. And I was spending a lot of time with those sad songs about that failed relationship. So I put out my first album. After deciding to change the story, I started channeling these uplifting songs, and my first album was called The Calling, because I was really stepping into this calling. I was being called to sing this music from my heart and share my music in a really powerful way to inspire people. And so I started singing songs about people pursuing their dreams and living their life purpose, because that's what I wanted to do. And then I learned about this profession called life coaching, and I realized, oh, I don't just have to sing about people following their dreams. I can actually give them the tools and support them in taking action on them. And so I became a life coach. And so for the past 5.5 years, I've been coaching and developing a process for merging my music with the skills and tools I've learned from coaching. So I like to call myself a mindset alchemist. I love working in mindset and those decision points of where we're choosing to believe something versus what is possible for us, and how our subconscious mind really dictates the possibilities that we see in the world, how we can become aware of those things, and how we can rewrite them and reprogram them. So one way that I do this is through my music. Thank you, Heather, for your beautiful testimonial saying that my music is the soundtrack to your best life. My music is absolutely designed for people to embody their own life purpose and make the songs their own, apply them to the truth inside of you so it can become your own medicine. One of the ways, in addition to writing what I call more traditional songs, that I support people in finding their joyful purpose is through something I call musical mantras. Musical mantras are simple affirmative songs that are designed to rewrite the neural pathways in your brain so you can empower yourself for your dreams and your purpose here. And so they're little catchy songs that you just sing as a spiritual or personal growth practice. Allow them to get stuck in your head. Our subconscious mind learns from repetition. And so it's a simple and effective way to empower yourself with new thoughts that turn into your belief systems, which then turn into what you prove to be true in the world around you. Is anyone resonating with this? Yes. What I love about musical mantras, affirmations are great. However, musical mantras, pairing music with the words that you want to empower yourself, there's a magic sauce in there because music brings about emotion. And what I know about energy and the field of energy around us is that when we add an elevated emotion to thoughts, it expands the attraction point. And so it is a fun and simple way to empower yourself, change the thoughts that you're telling yourself in your brain. When you sing what it is that you want to see for yourself, you sing the words that you want to create for yourself in your outside world. So I've developed a process where I coach clients to identify what are the subconscious beliefs that are holding them back. I'm a master practitioner and practitioner of neurolinguistic programming and hypnosis. So I use neurolinguistic programming tools to identify and rewrite the subconscious mind. And then I've developed a process also to write custom musical mantras for my clients to empower them for the exact precise thoughts that they need to believe to overcome their limiting beliefs and empower their joyful purpose. So I'm going to share a song with you now that I wrote, actually was inspired from Heather Starr. When we met, I had been dreaming about starting a self-help book club. And when someone connected us through that messenger app, she's like, oh, I have this book club, the Soul Seeker Sisterhood. Would you like to join it? And I was like, all right, I don't have to create it myself. I'll just join hers. And the Soul Seeker Sisterhood became this beautiful community, and it turned into way more than a book club. We were offering workshops and gatherings and retreats. And I decided to write an anthem for the book club. It was called Sisters Rise. And I sang it for a while as Sisters Rise until Heather was putting on an event. And she said, and it was for Starseeds, the event was for Starseeds. And so she said, what if we sang Starseeds Rise instead of Sisters for this event? And it's been Starseeds Rise ever since. So would you all like to hear it?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Oh, I feel just like so welcomed. All right. I want you to see my guitar a little bit if you can.
Yep, that's perfect.
All right. So this song is for all the star seeds.
Star seeds rise, your heart drum is calling you home to stand and be the light shining through the shadows of darkness to heal the wounds of life. We shine, we are one truth, love divine. We are wisdom realized. Star seeds rise, we stand as one. We are one breath burning bright. We are sacred soul inside. Star seeds rise, we stand as one. Transcendent truth, your heart's constellation, a symphony of light. Ignite, ascending through the veils of illusion. Behold these wings and fly on high. We are one truth, love divine. We are wisdom realized. Star seeds rise, we stand as one. We stand, we are one breath burning bright. We are sacred soul inside. Star seeds rise, we stand as one. Star seeds rise, your heart drum is calling. Star seeds rise, your heart drum is calling. Star seeds rise, your heart drum is calling.
I'm gonna go to gallery view for everybody to just send some love. I didn't want to go to anywhere but just focusing on you and those beautiful words. And I think people in the audience are totally relating to it. I'm going to read some of the comments coming in. Susie Karasik writes, full body chills. Heather says, yes, those are truth bumps. Reverend Jeffrey, who we just celebrated, says, absolutely delightful and inspiring. iPhone, even the iPhone comments saying, I love this song. And this is important. Serenity Grace writes, Astra, your work has changed my life and my life purpose. Your coaching and tools pushed me into my greatness. Every time I hear your music, it truly is my medicine and it helps my entire family. Wow. And more and more comments coming in. Perfect song for our times. Tiara writes, yes, me too. A universal truth has been spoken. And so it goes. Perfect songs for these times. So thank you. And yeah, you know, it is time for us to really rise. I'm going to bring up our other two wise women. And where's Anistara? Oh, there she is. Well, first of all three of you are so inspiring in your own unique ways. Thank you, Astra, for sharing a little bit about your life's journey and that choice point. Isn't that, something where we have these choice points in our life and we go back and we look at the path taken. And sometimes we look back at a path that we took and we go, wow, that wasn't the best path. But, you know, I also appreciate that you took the path that you did. I have a question for really all three of you offhand, and then I really want to open it up to our audience and also on Facebook. So I'll be doing my best to check what's going on Facebook. Questions for, they could be a general question for all three or a specific question for one. But my first question is for all three of you. What's your response when people you care about, you're all coaches in different ways, family members or clients, feeling devastated or shocked or paralyzed even by some of what's going on in the world? What's your advice? What do you suggest? Whether it's a personal practice for yourself or something, you know, advice that you would give to any of your clients or friends or family members. And I'd love for all three of you actually to answer that question. Lisa, I see you opening your mouth, so we'll go with you first.
You know, I feel like my advice is kind of relatively simple because, again, we are the creators of our world. We are the creators of this universe. And so my advice is always to come back into your heart and to remember the great truth of who you are as an infinite soul, as a wise soul with thousands and thousands or millions of lifetimes, and to be able to call on some of those memories, some of those gifts that you've had. And you know, of course, not everybody that I talk to is that familiar with the records or maybe even believes in the Akash, but really just coming back to that place of love. And of course, I always remind people that, you know, we're creating our life every day, every minute, you know, so when we turn off all of those screens, when we come back into nature and meditation and the love of the people around us, then that can really help to shift our view of the world kind of more easily. So
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Anistara, I'm going to go to you next.
Yeah, I mirror exactly what Lisa just shared. Because we're the creator of our world, our heart knows the truth, regardless of the propaganda or anything that we're seeing in the outside world. We can really tune into our truth. So one of the very simple tools that I share with my clients is your body pendulum. So just like a pendulum, right? Your body tells you yes or no. So you can put your hand on your heart and just ask, what is my yes? Mine is a lean forward or a spiral to the right. And then you say, what is my no? Right? And it's usually lean back for me. And then you make a statement. My name is Anistara. And you feel the yes. And you say, I'm wearing a white shirt. Right? And that's a no. And so when you're watching something and you're hearing what's happening, you can really just tune into your heart and be like, is this true for me? Yeah, okay, that's true. You're leaning into it, right? Or no, this isn't a part of my reality or what I'm choosing to believe. So our new earth comes in from our heart first. We experience it viscerally from inside, from our soul, from our heart. And so if we want to experience peace in our world, we have to come from a peaceful heart. So if we're seeing all this chaos outside and we start judging it or nitpicking it and being really involved or influenced by it, then we won't have a peaceful heart. So always begin within.
I love that. I've never heard that idea before of the body pendulum. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the kitty cat right behind you.
This is mantra. I have 3 cats: manifest, millions, and mantra. Talk about having positive words in your daily life. You say it every day.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for the body. I'm going to work with that myself. I love that.
Yeah, you can pick up something at the store, you know, like a vitamin or whatever, and literally and just ask, is this for me at this time? You want to be specific about at this time. And if there's a yes, then go ahead and buy it.
That is great to know. Thank you. Astra, joyful purpose goddess.
Thank you.
What's your response to that?
Yeah, so I mean, the first thing I heard when you posed this question was choose light. You know, if you're someone who's experiencing darkness in the world, be the light or create more light. That's really what's needed. And I'd like to offer an exercise, a really simple writing exercise that I've done in workshops and offer to my clients. If you have something that you're feeling really emotional about, you've got uncomfortable emotions, maybe negative thinking around, do a thought download on that topic. Get all of your thoughts about it on paper. Just dump it all out there. And thinking back to my story about how I use songwriting as a way to process my grief, this process is similar. It's like we don't want to push away the emotions that we're feeling, give them a place to live. So put them all on paper. Once you've done that and you've had an opportunity to sit with what is, then get a new clean sheet of paper and write what you'd like to see instead. What would you like to see instead? And then get all your thoughts out about that. Dream big. Focus on that light that you want to experience. And then when I do workshops, I invite my clients or guests to do a creative art project based on either the first writing or the second as a way to channel what they want to create into a creative piece and to transform that energy.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to bring all three of you up in a moment. I wanted to add actually something on my end too, and that is, as those of you who are regulars know, I'm a coach, and it's very compassion based, and it is important to acknowledge the uncomfortable feelings. And I liked how Astra gave us a process for how to work with that. And we do need to acknowledge our uncomfortable feelings, our sadness when we see what's going on with Gaza, our maybe the values that we hold dear that are not being met when we see some of the choices that certain leaders are making. And so taking time to mourn and acknowledge our uncomfortable emotions, and then to release them. And I think, again, Astra's process of doing that is a wonderful, wonderful way. So I just wanted to add that because sometimes we can jump too quickly to the positive, and then people that aren't there yet need more empathy. And as my mentor, Marshall Rosenberg, taught, always start with empathy, always start with compassion. So, all right, I'm going to bring our three wise women back up. And we actually have a question from Renee on Facebook, which is, do any of you believe in the bifurcation? Do any of you believe that there is a splitting off of worlds or a splitting off of parallel universes? Whoops, I brought up Heather accidentally.
I got you, Scott.
No, thanks. Yeah, that's a popular theory that certain people believe, and so Renee is asking about that.
Well, I think it is all happening, right? We can choose to look at the light or look at the dark, right? It's coming back to this wisdom about making a choice, making a decision as to how you're going to allow, or how you're going to allow the outside world, how you're going to respond to it. I think it comes down to that choice part of what you're going to focus on, and what you focus on, you attract.
Yeah, and as I said before earlier, like our 5D new earth lives in your heart first, right? So again, it's your perspective. It's your mindset around how you perceive your life, right? We call it our phenomenological world in psychology, that how you're raised, your culture, your religion, all of it creates who you are. And you experience the world through your own view, through your own filters, through all of it. So the bifurcation, I personally am not the believer that we are splitting off into two physical planet Earths. Now, there was a movie long ago, I don't even remember the name of it, and it had to do with the second coming of Jesus. And there was a table of people, and they're all sitting there having dinner, and the second coming happened. It was a flash, and half the people at the table were gone. Their clothes were there, their watches were there, everything was gone, and they were the believers, right? And what I kind of have taken away from that now that I've been on my spiritual path and have had my awakening process over and over and over again is that when we raise our frequency, when we raise our vibration to a point where we are filling ourselves so much and we are emanating from our light body rather than our physical body, then just like a radio station, when we get off the station, it's like staticky. That maybe some of us might have the experience of really being in this whole new world because we're seeing it that way. And then others really don't see us anymore. And it's kind of happening right now, how I talked about earlier. Some of your old friends or family aren't getting you because you're already elevating in your consciousness and your vibration. So it depends on what world you want to live in. Do you want to be fire and ash and brimstone apocalyptic, or do you want to believe in the goodness of humanity and living in harmony with Mother Gaia? It's up to you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Lisa, is there anything you'd like to share about this?
I completely agree. And I really feel that we are moving into the greater unified field of the quantum of source. Again, I don't believe that we're going to have two earths. I truly believe that all of us will awaken and we will create one beautiful new earth. And, you know, even though we have, again, so many millions of lifetimes, which means we have all those aspects of ourselves, but I don't believe the planets are going to split and that some will be left behind and some will awaken or ascend. I believe we're all in it as one. So I'm looking forward to everyone awakening.
And while I've got you on camera, actually, there's a question from Susan Bloomquist for you. She writes, my question is about the Akashic records. Are these records of our soul experiencing other life journeys?
So if I understand you correctly, Susan, I would say yes, it is. Again, if you imagine that there is a huge oversoul with millions of aspects of us, which we could look at as millions of lifetimes on this planet, other planets. Again, I believe we've all, I know I've been a galactic traveler most of the time. You know, we've been on this world the last, you know, whatever, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 years. Otherwise, we're out there in the multiverse. And so we have so many life streams, and some of it, I would, you know, and depending on who you are, much of it is accessible through your own Akashic records. So the way I see the Akash is that each person has their own library of all these millions of lives they've had. We have the Akashic library is more earth-based, and even some of the closer planets. The Akashic library is the higher realms. And again, there's Cosmania, which there's a whole, so we have a couple of libraries because we're so much more than we appear. But we have our own set of librarians who are assisting us to help us to find the information that we're looking for, whether it's from this life at some date, or other lifetimes, or sometimes even other worlds. And so we really can receive so much information, reclaim so many gifts, and learn so much about what your soul was planning when you chose and you wrote your soul plan. Whether it was, you know, simple or complex, you know, traumatic or less so. We really plan these things because we want to learn, we want to heal, we want to unwrite and rewrite, get rid of some of these old programs that no longer serve. So lots of information, and even group. I love to do the group healing around unwriting some of the traumas, some of the abuse, some of the slavery programs that we have that have affected our planet and humanity for a very long time. So much information in your Akashic records.
Thank you. Okay, I'm bringing everybody back up. And yeah, Susan Bloomquist wrote, I think in reference to what Anistara was saying, I'm having that experience. My family are just not perceiving me.
Yeah.
Here's a question for any of you or all of you. This is from Diara. She asks, I know as empaths that we have many ways of creating protective yet porous fields to filter. What are some of your favorite ways? So I'm interpreting that to mean being empathic. How do you protect yourself from different energies? I'm guessing that that's kind of what she means. And DR, if you want to clarify, feel free to unmute yourself and come on in.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Knowing the sensitivities that you guys have and what you're presenting to us, and knowing that we're resonating with that, the collective wisdom, what tools do you use to keep yourself sensitive and have a filter that makes life pleasurable and work for you? Just wondering what some of your favorite. Thanks.
I can share first. Thank you, Diara, for your question. I think first I would offer having a tool or a way of regulating your nervous system. Breath work is one of my favorite tools as a way to regulate my nervous system. Taking brisk walks, if I'm feeling an elevated emotion, moving my body is a really great way to move that energy through. And then another tool I offer to my clients, and that I've used quite a bit myself, is just creating an orb of white light around myself. So going into a space where there might, a family space, as was the example given, or a place of business where might not be aligned thinking. I'll set the intention beforehand that I'll be surrounded by a white light orb, and set that intention that my energy is going to be protected, that I will be able to connect with others in a really authentic and genuine way, but I'm not going to be picking up any of their emotions or energies.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and I'll jump on the tailcoat there. I have it right here on my water bottle. I don't know if you could see it. It says Rainbow Shield, right? So practicing that Rainbow Shield. There's also a sealing up practice where when you come home, you can, well, first of all, when you go out into the world, you can have something with you, a quartz crystal, something that can transmute any of the energies. You can have it in your pocket or your purse with you. And then when you get home, if you really feel like, whoa, I just took on a lot, like I really felt the collective when I went to the city or wherever you went, that you can come home, take a saltwater bath and some essential oils, put your feet on the ground, bare feet. We love to earth, right? Get your feet on the ground. A technique that I teach my clients, I call it the connection formula, and I won't share exactly what it is. It does involve being in nature, really tuning into listening to her, listening to your higher self, and again, that body pendulum, the truth. So as empaths, we can feel the collective even when we're away from it. I live on 11 acres in the Redwoods, and there are days like election day that I just felt it, and I was sad and I was angry, and I just did a catharsis dance. I would just turn on the music and rage it out, pull my hair and scream and punch something, right? And then of course there's those beautiful musical mantras. Heather wrote a song called I am safe and protected, surrounded by angels, call them in, right? So remembering that you're protected.
I love that. That's I'll have to hang out in your redwood acre.
Yes, please.
That is so That's so beautiful. So, I have never considered myself one of the more grounded people in the world. And so, what the record keepers had suggested to me a very long time ago was to really learn to be the sovereign, the queen of my body, my physical body, my energy field, my auric field. And so, they gave me just simple tools, one they call the tripod grounding system to help to ground, roots from both of your feet in a nice grounding cord tail. And then we fill up with our highest Akashic energy and golden light. And so I love to see it. They always say, be the sovereign. You want to be solid from the inside out. And so I'm filling my body with my highest golden cosmic energy. My energy field becomes a beautiful golden egg. And then we literally make a rainbow shield by activating the layers of the aura. And then the final layer really is just our intention that no one and nothing is allowed into my field without my permission and my consent. And so the more we kind of practice these, being the queen, the king, the sovereign of your field, your space, your energy, the easier it becomes and the more natural it becomes. And of course, we can choose to connect heart to heart. We can choose to still be sensitive and compassionate, and kind in the world, but we certainly don't need to take on everyone else's pain or the trauma in the world. So.
Beautiful.
You guys are speaking all that. I can feel all the energy shifting and swirling. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Good question, Tiara. Thank you. Earlier today on the Unity Earth call, another wise woman spoke up with a beautiful poem. And I asked her if she'd be willing to share it with us tonight. So this is a little spontaneous addition. She came into the chat box or into the Zoom room. And this is Amanda Waring. And Amanda, welcome. I know that you've been, in the audience many times for our shows, but I loved your poem. It was beautiful. And so please feel free to share with people a little bit about your inspiration, and then we're looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Scott. What a beautiful synchronicity just 2 hours ago to be asked to do this. So, yes, I'm very honored to read this poem I wrote when I turned 60, just a few months ago. And really it was a plea and a call to action on the giving hope to, and particularly for women as well, to say that we can gather as peacekeepers, as peace generators, as creators of life, and to allow women to find that confidence. So the poem is, yes, it is 3:15 in the morning in the UK, you're right. I'm up very, very late. But it's worth it to be with you. It's worth it to be with you. And actually today with the poem itself as well, it's been used around the world for many different activations for people. But there's also a film that goes with it that we launched today, but it wasn't showing so well on Unity Earth, so I'm a little bit anxious about showing the 7-minute film. But it's with Flags of One Family and Colors in Motion, and it's a beautiful, meditative, contemplative version of the poem, allowing the messages to land. So you said about being an alchemist, so I am a poetic, bardic alchemist, so I use poetry for transformation, and again, tackling more difficult subjects as well, bringing them to light. And as we talked about before, letting the pain move through. When your heart is open, then the pain can move through. When we close our hearts, the pain can't move through. As painful as it is, always open the heart, open the heart. So I hope this poem will open your hearts. It's from my book called We Are Family, and it's poetry for inner and outer peace. We are family. We are daughters and mothers and grandmothers, and we create life. We did not give birth to children to kill, maim, or fight. We say no more devastation and shattered hearts. We implore the governments to become a part of building bridges for peace, no longer chained to the profits of war that only reassure those who live off the ammunition, the smokescreen of battle, the battleground of hate. Make love, not war. We swore to honor our brothers and sisters. We are family. We are family. Drum this to the world. Strum this to the world. Peace is possible. War is impossible as an antidote to unity. Let's become one community where peace is held at its center as a sacred right, where we no longer have to fight for rights to be heard or seen, where a Department of Peace Building allows us to intervene in the ways of tolerance and kindness, moving us from blindness into balance. We are family. We are family. Let's move away from autocracy towards a true democracy, remembering our interdependence and making non-violence a priority. Let's ungun America, shun the dogs of war, restore communication and recalibration. Let's shift into the celebration of our shared humanity, creating a culture of peace where the vultures who pick at the spoils of war are shown what hands are for, to reach out, brother to brother, sister to sister, father to mother. We are family. We are family. We stand for peace. We dance the release of grief. We cry our pain for those who have lost their lives again and again and again. Oppression, suppression, depression, starvation. Let's move into an activation of solutions, a heart-based revolution. Peace is possible. We have to bring it into being by seeing it in our future. Drum it into life, not drums of war, drums of celebration, not his story, but her story, our story. Not glorifying war, but honoring peace and the release of the shackles of blame and shame as we regain one love, one family. We are daughters and mothers and grandmothers, and we are stepping up and stepping in. A rainbow hoop of all colors and all nations. Not dying for war, but living for peace. We are family. We are family. We are family.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. I can't hear you, Scott. Sorry, you're muted.
Amanda, first of all, let's just all twinkle, Amanda, for this incredible truth bump expression. And your delivery is so powerful and so passionate. So here's your Global Peace Tribe family appreciating you, because we are family, and of course, appreciating our big family that's out there. And Amanda, please put into the chat box the link where people can watch the video.
Yes.
And
I'm not that great at this kind of thing, but I will do my best. And give me a second. And also, yes, if you go on Amanda Waring, so it's Waring Films on YouTube, then there's a lot of my poetry on there. But I'll put the link to the, there's very different versions of the poem. So I've done an ecstatic rap dance version of it to allow it to reach a younger audience. And then, as I said, we've Flags of One Family, there's a contemplative way, and my vision is that it reaches around the world again and again. So thank you for this opportunity. Bless you, Scott.
God bless you, Amanda. Thank you so much for this. Just beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, fortunately, we have, because that's a hard act to follow. But fortunately, Astra has agreed to do a second song for us. So the inspiration continues, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Astra. It's so wonderful having you with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm just loving being here with all of you, and I'm just so grateful for this opportunity. And thank you, Amanda, for speaking your truth. I think it's so important right now is for us to speak our truths about what we're feeling, what we're experiencing, and the vision that we have for peace, the vision that we have for a loving world community. And so I'm going to share a song now. It's the last and final song on my new album, My Own Medicine. This is a song that started as one of those short musical mantras that I wrote for a client, and it grew into a full-length song. And so I sing this for all of you who are willing or dipping your toe into speaking your truth, and I hope you can embody these words.
I speak my truth like a melody. I shine my light with serenity. I'm showing up authentically. I'm growing into a new frequency. When I use my voice, I am releasing I am gifting my vibration into the universe. I dance my truth like an easy breeze. I show my strength with humility. I'm stepping up for humanity. I'm flowing into a new resiliency. When I use my voice, I am releasing I am gifting my vibration into the universe. I am releasing I am gifting my vibration into the universe. I speak my truth like a melody.
Oh, gonna get a gallery view. Let's send lots of love. What a beautiful, beautiful soft song. And I want to let people know some very important things. She has a new album out. Of course, the song we just heard, both of the songs from tonight are on this album. Starseeds Rise is the second song. And then the 12th and final song on the album is what we just heard, I Speak My Truth. And her album is called My Own Medicine. And I've put the link into the chat box, or people on YouTube and Facebook, just go to Spotify and look up My Own Medicine. And then there's also something I'm really excited about. I would love to meet some of you in person in Sebastopol, where she's going to be doing a concert. Astra's going to be in concert at Soft Medicine. We love Soft Medicine. Many of us were there for the Twin Ray experience last year. And it's going to be next Thursday, January 30th. And I can do that. I'm free that evening. So I'm going to go buy my tickets. And I would love to meet some of our Bay Area friends there. Thursday night, January 30th, doors open at 5:30. And it goes from 6 till 8. And Soft Medicine is a wonderful, wonderful place. You can eat there. They have good food, healthy. Astra, I'm looking forward to coming to your concert. That's going to be just delightful. Anything you want to share with our audience about that?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Excuse me. So I'm honored to be able to present this album to you. It is on all streaming platforms. So wherever you find your music, you can buy it, purchase it on my website. You can purchase it from me in person if you have a CD player. It is really beautiful, the album artwork. If that's something that you want, I can sign it for you. Christy Kiley did the photography. Heather Starr did the album artwork. So I'm really proud of that. So it's on all streaming platforms. And my concert next week, it's going to begin with my dear friend Chris Young Ginsburg is going to be grounding us with a sound bowl healing to begin. And that's my style of opening, artist, right? And then I'll be sharing the full album with a live band, which I'm really honored to do. I'm going to have another friend of mine create some live art. And it's going to just be a really beautiful, connective, healing space where I invite you into making these songs your own so you can tap into your own medicine and allow you to blossom into your greatest joyful purpose. So thank you all so much. I hope you'll go listen and connect with me. I do play around the Bay Area at Centers for Spiritual Living, Unity Churches. I'll put my event calendar in the chat.
Yes, please do that. And I'll show it as well. And I'm really looking forward to coming and seeing some of you. Heather, I saw, is going to, of course, be there. And so looking forward to us all being together. And then a few days later, we'll be in San Rafael, of course, for Lisa's Expand event over that weekend. All right, I think a final question for each of you. I'd love to ask each of you to share a favorite tool or practice for our audience. Pick a tool or a practice that you use or that you teach to help with ascension or to help with just life. And I think I'll go to Anistara first.
Thank you.
Because I know you've got lots of tools.
Oh, so many tools. And as we were talking earlier about, so I'm sorry, Scott, I said, not sorry, starry. I suddenly don't see my box. So anyhow, I think you're the only one
your
highlighted.
spotlight.
Okay,
Your
great.
spotlight.
That is exactly an example right there. We as human beings, especially women, we are been programmed to apologize for ourselves. And when we say the word, I'm sorry, then that's you saying, I'm a sorry person. And you're not a sorry person. So changing it to, I apologize, or please forgive me, or what can I do to make it better? These little nuances of our language really does help shift our energy. Like the word but. I want to go on vacation, but I can't afford it. Rather, if you say, I want to go on vacation and I can't afford it, there's an opening. Or I want to go on vacation and I'm going to figure out how to, right? And so these little language shifts can really help you. Double negatives, don't and worry. How does that make a positive? Our English language is so funny like that. So I'd much rather say, you got it, or okay, or sure thing. So making these tiny little shifts, catching yourself when you start doing it. I'm training my son, he's almost 10, when he walks into a room filled with women to not call us guys, because we're not guys, we're women. Hey, ladies, hey, goddesses, right? This is what I want him to say, to honor the feminine and acknowledge that there's no guys in the room. So, yeah, I feel like finding those nuances, and once you start catching them, like, hey, guys, right? You could just catch it and shift it. And the more that you do that, the more you're going to entrain your brain and reprogram it and rewire it to use positive language that makes an impact rather than using the negative language that will keep us stifled and down and stagnant.
That's a really good one.
Thanks.
You know, there's an interesting one that I recently learned, which is the word, when we say it, called the master bedroom. That's actually comes from the Old South during plantation time, when
the slave owner had the bigger bedroom.
The slave owner was the master, right? And that was the master's bedroom.
Yep.
So we want to avoid using master bedroom because those days are over.
The big room.
The big room. The place for mom and pop sleep or whatever it is, right? Yeah.
The dreaming room.
Dreaming room. There you go.
Totally, Scott.
All right, let's hear what Reverend Lisa Barnett has to say. You're up, Lisa.
There we are. Oh, you know, I was so just living in that beautiful energy of the music and the phenomenal poem that I think I missed your question. Could you repeat it for me, please?
The question was, what is the meaning of life? No, not really. I'm kidding with you. No, I asked for people to, although you could tackle the meaning of life if you'd like. The question was, what's a favorite tool or practice, either that you use or that you'd like to share with your clients?
Oh, wow. So the one that comes to mind is a tool that I use, which I call the infinite connection. And it's so simple. You really just imagine a beautiful liquid golden light infinity symbol. And what I started to do, I have 3 kids and a husband and 2 cats and a dog. And I would literally imagine all of my my family, and sometimes I really spread it out to my beautiful, amazing 95-year-old father and his partner, right? So just bring all of, instead of kind of bringing the family into a bubble, which I also do, but I just would connect heart to heart, with each and every one of them. So each one got a beautiful golden liquid light infinity symbol from my heart to their heart, just connecting in this very beautiful flowing energy of light and love, non-invasive, like the old kind of chords are. And what I find is not only heart to heart, but sometimes when I'm going to have a conversation with somebody that may feel a little like it could be a little sticky or challenging or something, I'll connect heart to heart, and then 5th chakra to 5th chakra, so that we can all speak our truth with ease and grace. And even 6th chakra to 6th chakra, where we can see the truth. We can see each other, really know, feel, see, and speak our truth by connecting in this very beautiful way. So that's the infinite connection that I find so useful in so many ways.
Beautiful. A reminder that you can find all things Lisa Barnett at her website. It's akashickknowing.com. Akashic is spelled A-K-A-S-H-I-C-K, I-C, and then the knowing, K-N-O-I-N-G, akashickknowing.com. And she offers free gifts, so definitely check out her books, her live courses, her live events. And of course, again, we're going to be at Expand. Looking forward to hopefully seeing some of you there. February 1st and 2nd in San Rafael. So it's going to be really, really wonderful. And I got so excited about sharing my little tool that I forgot to go back and show one more time Anistara's link tree. And oh my gosh, Anistara is one of those women who's doing a lot. So you definitely want to go to her link tree. And again, link tree is linktr.ee and then /Anistara 1111. And there's a lot of wonderful things there. Anistara, is there any one particular one you'd like me to open up and show people?
Yes, there are two. The one is the upcoming masterclass next Wednesday, Synchronicity of Success. This is a free masterclass where we're going to go over the 4 keys to come into universal flow so that you can feel aligned and live a fulfilling life on purpose.
Beautiful.
So
Okay.
that one is free on Eventbrite. And then the second one is the upcoming Egypt Revisited Masterclass. It's the third, I believe it was the third. Is it? Yes, here it is. So these are for people who really feel the call to visit Egypt. You come to this masterclass, you learn more about tapping into your soul codes at the sacred sites of Egypt, and I will share more about our pilgrimage that will happen later this year. And so that's a free class. And that is February 22nd on the portal day, 222 at 2 p.m. Pacific time.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
I want to really acknowledge Anistara. I had the opportunity to collaborate with her. Many of you attended the fundraising that we did right after the election on November 9th. And Anistara, we had already kind of put together the core team for that. And Anistara came in and she made it happen. This woman is a force of nature. She was like a hurricane who came in and just handled so many of the black and white details that needed to get done for that to be a success. So thank you, Anistara. I really respect your beautiful balance of masculine and feminine energy.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a pleasure to work with you on 1111 for Unity Now. And who knows, there's more coming soon.
Sure there will be. Thank you so much, Anistara. See you soon.
My pleasure.
All right. I always feel like Dorothy at the end of The Wizard of Oz. And Scarecrow, I'm going to miss you too. Saying goodbye to all of our 3 wise women tonight. And of course, finally, we have got Astra, our newest friend. And Astra, is there a tool or a practice you'd like to share with our audience? We really dropped into your music, but you're also a coach. So this is a chance for people to get a little taste of a little homeopathic dose, perhaps, of your coaching medicine.
Well, creativity is one of my favorite tools. And so, as we know, we're all creative, and your creative expression is unique to you. So for me, it's song and music. To some of you, it may be cooking a meal or planting your garden. And so what I would recommend you do, again, like I said, with that thought download, focusing, doing the thought download for what you don't want to see, and then spending some time writing what you do want to see. Use that as a creative practice. Channel what you do want to see into that meal for your family. Channel what you do want to see into creating a gathering with your community. Use creative tools as transformation tools for, I see creativity as a mental health tool. And so I think one of the reasons that the collective is suffering so much is because creativity we've been separated from it. And so I invite you to create just for the sake of creating. We are most like source when we are in creation mode. And that's why it feels so good to create something out of nothing, to create a song out of nothing, to create a human out of seemingly nothing, right? And so I invite you to look out into your life and what can you create? It doesn't have to look like a song. It doesn't have to look like visual art. It's unique to you, and creativity is one of our God-given tools that we can use to transmute energy. So take advantage of that. And so I use song with my clients. I also created the My Own Medicine Transformation Guide. So this is actually a lyrical coloring book. And so every page has the lyrics for the album and a page to color. So you can use the album as a meditation practice, listening to the songs and then allowing yourself to color in the pages and embody the messages within the songs so they can become your thoughts and your beliefs so you can go out and live your purpose.
Fantastic. And speaking of living your purpose, let's take a look at her website. Oh, whoops, I was on her website a moment ago. There it is, joyfulpurposecoaching.com. I want to make sure that I've got that up. So her coaching website is joyfulpurposecoaching.com. Make sure you put in your name and email address so you can stay connected with her. It's now taking me to another place, so I'm going to go back to you. But thank you, joyfulpurposecoaching.com, and I'm sure that people getting coached by you are very blessed. George Noble, who I imagine will be at your concert, he lives close by there, writes, her creativity is channeled during each of her songs. Absolutely. And Reverend Jeffrey writes, reality as we think it exists is not so much a static state as it is a process of potentiality, continuously expanding and transforming so that information can increase. Lovolution is the solution. And it is wonderful to be with you, Jeffrey. We love you so much. I'm going to bring up all of our people one last time, including Amanda Waring, who it's, God knows, middle of the night in England. Thank you for being with us, Amanda.
Thanks.
It's been another wonderful show. I'm going to bring up Omashar in a moment. And I always let people know what's coming up. I actually don't even have the poster made for it yet because we just added a new guest. But this Saturday night, we're going to have Vivian Chauvet.
Oh, love her.
Caroline Corey, and some of the key people that are speaking at the Sedona Ascension Retreat and the Conscious Life Expo, both events coming up in February and March. We're going to be promoting those events with some of the main speakers. So it's going to be a dynamic show this Saturday night. So I hope you can all join us. Let's all twinkle, our wonderful presenters. Yay! Thank you so very, very much, you gals, you goddesses, you wonderful people.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Anistara. I channeled your son just then.
Yes.
I channeled you correcting your son. Yeah. And I'm going to turn it over to Omashar to close us out.
Embrace it, all that seems dark, embrace it. All that seems unlovable, embrace it, and be whole again. Be whole again. Be whole again. Oh, traveler, let nothing go by. Let nothing be denied. Let the child inside cry. Darkness is known by the light. Embrace it, all that seems dark, embrace it. All that seems unlovable, embrace it, and be whole again. Be whole again, yes. Be whole again. Oh, adventurer, nothing can be left out. Faith is the brother of doubt.
beautiful. I love those purple pom-poms, Astra. Those are awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. That's how I celebrate my clients' wins.
Oh, that's great. You are the purplish cheerleader I've ever seen. I love it. Well, thank you, Omashar. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. It's been a really, really great show. And thank you for the wise women in our world. I hope to see all of you on Saturday night. Take care, everybody. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. God bless you all.